Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and who's ready to hear Shane gush over a movie? I am, because I'm about to gush over a movie. I loved Tonya. This is one of my favorite films of this year, and actually cracked my top 5 as of right now. And honestly, the only other movie that I could see potentially breaking into the top 5 and pushing this out might be Phantom Thread, when I get to see it. But I really was happy that I found a small theater called Montgomery Cinemas up in Skillman around me. So if you want a cool, fun little theater, go check it out. And they played I, Tonya. I'm like, yes! And I went to go see this on Friday, and I loved it. If you couldn't tell. But I loved it. And this was directed by Craig Gillespie. The way that they told this story is so cool and different and fascinating, and used voiceover in the best way possible. And the way that Gillespie is able to balance the storytelling of a bunch of interviews and newscasts and just it's a bunch of people sitting around talking about what happened, but with all different perspectives. So it's like, what's real? And you get to see so much fourth wall breaking. I'm like, holy crap, is this Deadpool? And it worked so well, and it was crazy, and it really, like, I saw somebody compare this to Goodfellas, and, like, to be perfectly honest, and I actually like this more than Goodfellas. You heard me. But this film uses all those different things: voiceover, fourth wall breaking, interviews, documentary. I'm gonna gush over the cinematography so much in a little bit. Just wait. But Craig Gillespie does such a great job putting this film together. The pacing is amazing. I never once felt bored throughout this whole entire film. The use of slow motion and different angle shots and everything, giving this film so much life to it. The tone, it's dark, but it's so biting and darkly funny throughout this whole entire film, and it really hits that atmosphere, that tone that it's trying to hit for perfectly. It lands the triple axle. Haha. But it really hit what it was trying to do with this film. And really, there's really emotional moments too. Oh my god, Margot Robbie, and I'll gush over her in a little bit, but some of these scenes were so amazingly well done and hit so well emotionally. And getting into the cinematography, which the small thing is, you could tell there's CGI going on. Especially, you could tell they CGI Margot Robbie's face onto an actual skater, which was slightly distracting at moments, but I was enjoying this film way too much for that to dock anything. But Nicholas Karakatsanis, very Greek, the cinematographer for this, the different aspect ratios to differentiate when they're doing an interview or watching this old TV, and there's scenes that look like it was on old television, and it was great. And the graininess to everything, the color scheme was fantastic. It really stood out in this film. The great camera work, being able to shoot all this action, all the skating scenes, everything, and it was so well done. The writer Stephen Rogers wrote this film in such an interesting way, and how this was all built out. The voiceover was great, and really adding some interesting depth to the idea of there are two different perspectives happening here. Which one's real? Which one do we connect with? Who do we believe? And I think that's so interesting. And that was so well done. And the characters, they're all so interesting. Tonya Harding was a fascinating person. Her mom, oh my god, Allison Janney did such a great job. And the characters in this film are fascinating. And the thing is, you get different perspectives on these characters too. So there's multiple layers, there's multiple portrayals of the same people in the same movie. And I think that's really interesting. And then the performances I'll talk about in a minute, but like the dialogue was so sharp and funny and so interesting and so engaging and so in your face. And it works so well in this film, and really dealing with themes of trying to find what drives you in life and what your passion is and why you're living this life, and dealing with the expectations of society and feeling like an outsider and not fitting into something that you love and it's really driving you. And this film really hits home on that. Now, composer Peter Nichelle does a great job with the actual score, but I have to talk about the soundtrack because the music choices were so on point, and the fact that I got to watch somebody ice skate to ZZ Top, I'm like, yes, that worked so well for me. The music choices were so great, made me hop on my Amazon Music and download a bunch of songs. I'm like, oh, I need to listen to this right now, especially some Supertramp, some ZZ Top. It was great. The acting, I feel like I'm betraying my love, Saoirse Ronan, because I wanted her so bad to win Best Actress, but I think Margot Robbie might deserve it more than her, because Margot Robbie was amazing in this film. There's moments of pure emotion that she sells like a champion, and she was a revelation in this film, and she's only 27. She has so much time to really make an impact, and honestly, I think she deserves the Oscar for Best Actress for this film. Sebastian Stan did a great job. I'm not going to say that he's going to get nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I really did like him a lot, though, in this film. There's just so many people. But Allison Janney, oh my god, as her mother, was amazing. She was so biting and dark and sarcastic and sold every obnoxious, outrageous line that she had in this film. And she definitely deserves to be nominated for Best Supporting Actress. And then Paul Walter Hauser, who plays the bodyguard guy in this film, he was hilarious. He was such great comic relief in this, and he made you want to jump through the screen and punch him in the face because he was that stupid. And then, interesting enough, Bobby Cannavale pops up in this as a producer who adds a little bit of extra to it, which that could have been such a ham-fisted in character in this film, but he works so well. And how this film was set up, and him and like his like ridiculously tan skin tone and his hair straight up, he really worked in this film. This film is a uniquely constructed and darkly funny biopic that is so crazy, but it's true. And this is one of the best films of the year. This is in my top 5, and you called it. I'm giving I, Tonya an A+.